Worship toward your Kadesh place. I will praise your name for your love kindness and for your truth. Your love kindness and for your truth. That has magnified your word above all your name. In the day when I cried, thou answered me, and strengthened me with strength in my nephew. For all the king of the earth shall praise you. Oh Yah, they shall hear the words of your mouth. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Told you, precious Shabbat Yahweh, that you awaken us to another Sabbath home. And brought us back into the bed once again, Abba Yahweh. Down on humble knees, Abba Yahweh. We say total unto you, Abba Yahweh. Just for life and breath this day to lift up our precious King. And our hallelujahs and our dances. As the nation lift up their voices unto you, Abba Yahweh. To the YHWHSHUA, Abba Yahweh. Give thy great King honor due unto him, Abba Yahweh. For we know, Abba Yahweh, there is nothing, Abba Yahweh, that we could do without you. Only in you, Abba Yahweh, where our strength cometh from, Abba Yahweh. We just told you, Abba Yahweh, that you have a special ahava towards your nation, Abba Yahweh. To keep us on the straight and narrow way, Abba Yahweh. To comfort us, Abba Yahweh. Abba Yahweh. To lead us, Abba Yahweh, in the way you will help us to go, Abba Yahweh. Because we know there's no one like you, Abba Yahweh. And all those lambs and all the YHWHSHUA, Abba Yahweh. For there is nothing but one great one, Abba Yahweh. The man don't understand, Abba Yahweh, of this great one that we serve, Abba Yahweh. But Abba Yahweh, we know what you have done for us, Abba Yahweh. What you are still doing for us, Abba Yahweh. Because this battle we cannot fight alone, Abba Yahweh. Only in you, Abba Yahweh, to give us the strength to overcome, Abba Yahweh. We told you this day, Abba Yahweh. And our hallelujah to this great King that we serve, Abba Yahweh. So we will never stop rejoicing, Abba Yahweh. As long as you give us breath in our body, Abba Yahweh. We told you, Abba Yahweh. Our hallelujahs, Abba Yahweh. Well, I always come from this one tongue, Abba Yahweh. But we don't need 1,000, but just one, Abba Yahweh. We can just with Abba Yahweh. We'll lift it up back unto you, Abba Yahweh. Touch today, Abba Yahweh. And your word go forth to the nation, Abba Yahweh. And the Iraq, Abba Yahweh. To strengthen, Abba Yahweh, that they stay on the straight and narrow way, Abba Yahweh. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We told you, Abba Yahweh. Your precious son, Yahshua HaMashiach, Abba Yahweh. Let us stand to our feet, nation. Blow the trumpet in the mouth of Yahweh, Yahshua HaMashiach. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Kadosh is your mighty Hashem. Your Yakut to come. Your will be done. In earth, Abba Yahweh, and in the YHWHSHUA. Give us this day our daily election. And forgive us our debt, Abba Yahweh. And we forgive our debt towards Abba Yahweh. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, Abba Yahweh. For yours is the Mekut, the power, and the honor, Abba Yahweh. Forever, Abba Yahweh. So be it, Abba Yahweh. May it be fulfilled in the present mighty name of Yahshua HaMashiach. And you would like for us to let him the bread of life this day, Abba Yahweh. Not compromising, Abba Yahweh, but speaking, Abba Yahweh, what you said, giving them to speak unto your people this day, Abba Yahweh. The truth, the amen, the Torah, Abba Yahweh, to strengthen your nation, to stay on that straight and narrow way, Abba Yahweh, to lift up the cast down here this day, that they rejoice, Abba Yahweh, to know this great King that we serve, in the presence of the name of Yahshua HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah. For this is the time, YisraYah'ale. The Yom of Abba Yahweh. That we may enter once again into his bed to give him Todah, Shahar, for all that he has done for YisraYah'ale. He has given us breath this morning. He has given us life. So let us give unto Yahweh our Abba. Come on, YisraYah'ale.
hearts. And rejoice when they said, yes. Oh, let us bold enter through the doors of the gates of YHWH. When he declared, let us go, I was so glad. The proclamation and the sound of the shofar. It's time to gather. We can come and sing His beauty, His strength, of His magnificence. We greet you all in Yahshua's blessed name of assurance. It's amazing that people sing about everything and people become active. They can sing about things that are as corrupt as corruption can be. You can hear that and you can get the beats of that too. Yeah, when it comes to young, we are mummified. And the reason we're that way because we're evil. If you can move to the beat of the drum, you can move. You hear that great thing. So we bless you all. There are those out there that everyone is on. Children are all and they're singing, dancing. Hallelujah. I was glad, and I'm so glad. When I hear that beautiful name, it does something for me. Not to makes me ecstatic with gladness. And I'm glad. I'm happy. I was discussing with Emma Raphael this morning about death. That you can avoid that all you want to. I'm not afraid of it, so I don't avoid it. But we do talk about that, discussing what things I would love to have in place before he calls me home. I'm not going anywhere because you devils are out there. So ours ain't going nowhere soon, all right? But the things that are vitally important to his integrity. And that's why we as messengers and simple ones of Yah, we must speak truth or imans. We must speak it at all times. You cannot understand the depths of truth without engaging into every word in Torah. You must examine every word. Every word. That sometimes to refine yourself, it must be a constant that we're examining and re-examining. So we may understand the implication of taking the right course. I'm not going to take a course that is crooked. This is not my private interpretation. A private interpretation is for your satisfaction. It is not of any man's private interpretation. I examine every word that I deal with. I want to continue from the last time on the SHABBAT concerning the 400 years of captivity, August 19th, 20. The dates are not precise, but it is the proximity that is best known to historians. Jamestown, USA, there were 19. It's amazing that numeric value of number. They were sold there not for money, but it was an exchange for food from a Portuguese ship. And so we have heard every kind of interpretation of time, season, the nation of Yah, who they are, what they identify. And the 400 plus years they have passed. And there is no circumstance, situation that would convey to me that Yah is coming this year. And that's a fact. Hallelujah. We should be on our way back to YisraYah'ale. Was looking the other day and seeing the distance between the great river Nile, between the course of a river that runs 2,000 plus miles, the great Euphrates. Just the distance in width, the northern part, is nearly 1,200 miles. That's almost half of this country. It is. And then we're not looking at the northern part as it runs down through Africa, the continent, and down to the Caucasus Mountains and all of that. It's enough land to supply every need of 4 billion people.
Yes.
No one would suffer. Land that is not polluted like this land. That we could eat.
Yes.
And work. And do what's right. I want to live there. I don't apologize for living here. I love my life. You don't have to. I love my life. It's amazing when I talk to people about my life. I was talking with Horace there at Lowe's, and this Caucasian woman that makes paint for me. She's familiar with my face. And I was in Lowe's early that morning around 6:15 when they opened. And so I began to talk, and I do that to boast. Yes, I make my boast in his works here. Of our children, and their students, and their stewardship unto you. That's what I do. How that we have combined our resources to help each other. And this white woman was just smiling with a glee of excitement. And I told her about Horace, about the inspector. He was from the University of Clemson. And when I said that, she smiled even greater. Because he said her husband graduated from Clemson. But I was excited about how that he trusted the appearance of things. Yes. Not to be inquisitive. That's a bold statement. Yes. It is our appearance that resonate, not your fitted-fine clothing.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
It's beyond that.
Hallelujah.
And that's a fact. So we greet you again all this morning in Yahshua's name. I want to teach with great emphasis as I began from YisraYah'ale. There's one chapter I want to teach. We must understand this Nobi. If you study the whole book of Ezekiel, you can see in the first 4 or 5 chapters what Yah deals with a nation. And then from around 5 to 10 you can see how Yah is not pleased with us. And from the 14th chapter all the way up to the 32nd, he deals with one thing. He deals with judgment. What shall be upon a people that have forgotten the principles of Yah. A nation, the only nation on the face of the earth, was not constituted, and a nation is constituted by the volume of people. Basically, they all speak the same language. Yes. And they set the groundworks of constitution, laws, and things. YisraYah'ale is the only nation whereby the constitution was set in the heavens. Yeah. Whereby the laws were set in the heavens. Yes. America's constitution, her laws, are not based upon the honesty of the principles of Torah. It is the only nation. Yes. The only nation. And yet she has risen to this height of arrogance. That's what he was dealing with. The arrogance. Yes. The hubris ways that they perceived that they were greater than him. That's why they were some of the most doggish people. Yes, they went after every strange thing that called itself a God, the way that she is today. Yes. They were involved in every kind of corrupt thing there was until Yah raised up this one from a mix amongst them. His name was Ezekiel. He commanded him to go and sit by the river of SHABBAT to watch the elders and the wickedness of the house of the daughters of Zion, a people that I fed them with bread, and I fed them with much. Yes. I reduced kingdoms down to naught. They did not have the sufficiency of the army military power, but I subdued the kingdoms for them.
Yes.
And they have become self-grandizing, arrogant, hubris, and they walk with their nose in the air, thinking that they are of great value. You are nothing. I am a Hebrew Israelite. It means nothing.
Hallelujah.
And because they would say, I'm YisraYah'ale, I don't have to worry about my sins and my corruption. You're wrong.
Hallelujah.
You're flat out wrong. And so we hear the herald today. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. It means nothing. It means nothing. Not at all. We're going to deal with this and prove one point. To show us all that we came from nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Yah will take you back to nothing. Not only will He's going to take you back to nothing.
Yes.
Where your flesh will stink like dog's dung. You're going to stink. We all are going to die.
True.
Yes.
That's a fact.
True.
My friend in the back informed me yesterday that his father died. 90-some years old. Lived a long life. And the time frame of man.
Hallelujah.
But it doesn't mean a nickel's worth of hog's meat. Even Dawid asked the question, why the wicked live so long? It means nothing to you.
Hallelujah.
We that are full of hypocrisy, if you live to be 90, it will mean nothing. Because of your violent hypocrisy against Almighty Yah. I want to begin in Ezekiel. We're going to take this one verse at a time. Ezekiel, Ezekiel, chapter 16. I want to begin with verse 1. Yah is dealing, first of all, with the state of the mind of a nation that have debunked everything that is Sadiq. They have called their ways, they have garnered gods without numbers. Yet in the midst of all of that captivity at Babel, you would think they would do what they did in Mizraim, that the Zachim would cry out unto Yah, the daughters of Zion would cry, and that He would hear the cries, not because we are working a 9 to 5, but how we have to labor in this life. It's laborious. It's laborious. It's heavy. It's weighty. Because the constant that attacks you more than anything, it is your defiance and your corrupt, sinful intent. It's not mine that attack you. It's not yours that attack me. It's mine.
Hallelujah.
And it's yours. And what a great blessing that Yah reminds us where He brought us from. And that we're not taken by anything that would take us under the labor to oppose Yah. If we don't do what the Torah says, we work against Him. If we don't love Him with all, you work against Him. If you don't love your neighbor, your ra'ah, as Him, you work against Him.
Hallelujah.
And that's just a fact. And look at who you are. It's the same constitution. A nation that Yah formulates a constitution. A nation that Yah from His heart gave them laws that were before the foundation of the earth. There is no word new to Yah. They were all hid in Yeshua before there was a beginning. Because there is no beginning with Him.
Hallelujah.
It's amazing. People can tell you that the earth or certain parts of the atmosphere is 1 trillion years old. They won't believe that. And they cannot even quantify. They cannot even qualify a number that is that extreme. It's beyond extreme. But they don't believe that before a number He is.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Before any number, He is.
Yes.
But they can quantify, they can qualify in their stupidity with their carbon tests and tell you, oh, that stone is at least 2.5 trillion years old. What is that? You can't even measure a number like that. You can use the number 1 million, but you can't even measure it. And that's just a fact. Our numerics are simple in our life. Birthday, 75, that's simple. How far is it to the store? It's about 6 miles, 6 miles. You cannot fathom traveling 1 million miles. What is that? It will take you the rest of your lifetime. I am talking about walking on ice, as this nation was. Look what he says here in Ezekiel, chapter 16:1. He used the word again. So undoubtedly that there has been more than one or two. Again, the Damarid, the promises. The word of Yah came to me. It entered into my being with such profound power that I had to listen. And when the word of Yah goes forth, we must hear.
Yeah.
We don't listen. We don't shema. We don't hear for it to refine us.
Yes.
There is no pleasure in hearing.
Yes.
We can listen to some foolishness all day.
True.
Something is twisted in your mind.
Hallelujah.
You are sick in your mind. You can clown, laugh, and act with folly and the ultimate of foolishness. Yet we're not condemned. We don't feel it. It's all right. It's not all right. It's not all right. You can't justify it.
No.
And so this no be, as he's seeing the very nation of a people not even understanding their origin, the beginning. You were nothing.
Yes.
And we all came out of nothing. I don't care if you're a millionaire.
Hallelujah.
You came out of nothing.
Yeah.
The word penetrated his being, and he calls him son of man, bin Adon. It's amazing that of all the Navi'im, the prophets, the word bin Adon or son of man, there is no one in Torah where this word is addressed to so many times. 93 times. How do you know, man? I search things. 93 times. He calls him the son of man. Bin Adon. Man of Adon. He calls him, that's important. We'll understand as we go. He calls him bin Adon. He said, I want you to cause YisraYah'ale to Yada perceive with great knowledge. That it be understood, he said, her Dawid, her sins of wickedness,
Yes, sir.
her abominable evil ways.
Yes.
I don't care what the Hebrew Israelites say on corners. They're not causing people to understand their sins and their vile nature against God. First of all, he said, cause them to understand how defiled they are, how wicked, how corrupt their intent is. Yet they're arrogant and self-grandizing. Think they're better than those that they are among, and they are worse than the ones that they are among. YisraYah'ale did worse than the pagans. There was not a God that they did not try, at least. They didn't love Yah. They gave them a constitution that was so viable, so real, like no nation.
Yeah.
They are the only ones who laws, that constitution, has come from above.
Hallelujah.
No other nation of people he gave that to. The Constitution of America is different than that of Russia. And any place,
Yes.
Venezuela, is different.
Yes.
Yet this Constitution came from Almighty Yah. It came from Him.
Hallelujah.
I want to emphasize this one moment. What were the abominations that they had? And they had continued to traverse in, to do, to carry out those dysfunctional activities, knowing that it was against Yah. It's almost like you're doing the same thing over and over. Irregardless of how many times you're reminded that it's wrong,
Yes.
we are that stupid.
Yeah.
You think that a child isn't intelligent enough to reason with the circumstance or the things that they continue to do? That's why we're little children. We're little children.
Yes.
Children will do the same thing over and over and over and over. That's what we do.
Yes, Abba.
The same things over and over and over. This is what troubled the heart of Yah, because of their Torah. It was a depravity. It was a sickness in their loins. It was a rottenness in them. It's almost like a parent saying, she is so rotten. I've heard parents say that about their children. She's rotten as they can. He's a rotten fella. That means that everything in them stinks. Even when they try to be nice, it stinks. Even when they try to be pleasant, it stinks.
Yes.
We're going to get this thing right.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. This is what Yah says. We're going to continue now in Ezekiel 60. But I want to identify this in YHWH, Leviticus chapter 18, verse 29. He gave them the instruction of his statutes, his laws, what things to avoid. But he says this so profoundly as he caused Moshe to write and to utter. YHWH 18:29. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the nephesh that commit them, they shall be cut off from among their people. Yah says, I'm going to kara. I'm going to kill them dirty dogs.
Yes.
This was not meant for the Goyim or the Gentile nations. It was meant for one people.
Yes.
That the laws were given and the Torah of life by Yah.
True. Hallelujah.
Well, I don't see no purpose what that serve. You're not even intelligent enough that your mind can question the mind of Yah. That you tell him what is intelligent or what is right and what is best for you. You're not even a fool. You're less than a fool. He says that these abominations, even the nephesh that commit them, I'm going to kill them. I'm going to cut them off from among the people. Therefore, you should shema, you should honor, you should keep my mishmereth. Whatever Yah ordained for us to do, we have to guard that. I don't care what it is. Sons, daughters, honor your Avot and your Ima. That your days, it doesn't necessarily mean one like me that never had a father. Those men that had the honor and the astutness and the stewardship of men.
Yes.
I've never dishonored them.
Hallelujah.
Never. There's no one on the face of the earth can have dishonored them. Not even my mother.
Yes.
And so he gives us mishmereth. He gives us statutes. How to interact, how to deal with each other. These people, they call themselves Hebrew Israelites. They use superlatives that are so vile.
Yes.
And they justify their own evil ways. Especially with that N word.
Yes.
I got a teaching that I've had for years on just that word to show you how ignorant they are. So they will say that to each other.
Yes.
I won't say that to no one, even
Hallelujah.
my most ardent enemy. He says, I want you to keep the function I command. I want you to be obligated and to do it with sincerity, that you may not any one of these abominations, any one of these abominable customs. We do things because they're customs. And they said, Lord, it's evil. Yah said, I don't want you to celebrate anything outside of what I command you, but do anything, any of them. They're all about it.
Yes.
Your birthdays and all because it concentrates on you.
Yes,
no one else. You become even more selfish. I'll give you a gift. Well, just take that and give it to someone else. Give it to another Hebrew Israelite. One that is true. That's how they do it. Pastors' anniversaries and pastors' birthdays. That's evil.
Yes.
I'm so glad, son. I've never done that. I knew from day one it was evil. In my ignorant ways, I knew it was evil. I will not participate in it.
Yeah.
And I never have.
Yeah.
You all get some heat on back there. You cold, mama? Yes, you all right? Well, that's all right then. You cold? Okay. The rest of you all want to look chilly. All right. How about that? He said, you should not do the abominable customs which were committed before you, that you defile not yourself therein. And he gives an explanation mark. He says, I am Yah, your Abba. Don't do what they do.
Hallelujah.
Don't try to subsidize in the sense of you will do things and saying, I'm not participating. You know damn well what you're doing. You know what you're doing is evil. Well, Yah doesn't care about that. You know why he cares so much? For you to take time with things that produce nothing in life, it doesn't make you love. There are men that give their wives and all kinds of expensive gifts and all of that, and they don't give a damn about that. They're unfaithful. Their women do the same thing. And they don't give a nickel's worth of rat's dung about them. And there are poor men that have nothing but my arms out and a hug. That's all I got.
Hallelujah.
But yet his Yeshua is strong. She's healthy. She has confidence. That's what Yah's trying to say to us. I've given you everything. What more can I give you?
Yeah.
I've given you the world. I've given you all the riches that shall flow. Not only to you as we were taught on last Shabbat, generations to come.
Yes.
Nothing great you have done. Nothing great that Avram done.
Hallelujah.
You have just elected him.
Hallelujah.
That's all that is. Yah elected him because Yah says, I'm going to make him different than all the other ones.
Hallelujah.
And he did.
Yes.
It's a fact.
Hallelujah.
Don't defile yourselves. That's important. That you defile yourselves with such corruption that we have the inability to hear what Yah says. Every time I preach, I want to correct me and correct us. You that listen, and those that may hear. That's a fact.
Hallelujah.
You must constantly, Musa, you must constantly correct yourself. You must. And I've never fought against being corrected. I was thinking the other day, I said, wow, I remember as I was talking to my friend, I was thinking about how Evangelist Hartsfield used to correct me. I never questioned that. He would say things that I did not concur with. And I would go to my Torah, to my concordance, and read and study. And just that one word, that's all I was studying. I would look it up every place it was mentioned in the book. That's how Yah taught me. I know no other way to study. And that's the only way. No other way. Back to Yeskiel. Now here was a people that had defiled themselves. They had taken on the habitual habits of those that were surrounded by them. Ezekiel 16 and verse 3. He says, and say, I want you to utter, I want you to make it known. Let it speak from the deepness of your belly, and say, and say, this is what I want you to say, the sovereign Yah of YisraYah'ale, he says, your birth, your mechura, the beginning of life in you, the bringing forth of you, your origin, your habitation, the beginning of you. Not only that, he says, and also your moledet, your nativity. Your nativity. You and those that are associated, and those that are the offsprings. Do you know what it was? Do you even understand where you came from? He said, I tell you, it is of the land of the Canaan, the Canaanites. And that, I believe that was what the fourth son of Ham. Yes. He said, you came from that land, because Yah even said to Avram, you think he took 10,000 people with him, Abraham? And so you tell me, people in the land, that there was no embracing and bringing forth youngers and all that. He was not a YisraYah'alite. He brought forth the lineage of that, out of him. And they were brought forth because of one thing, as we learn here on that teaching that was taught, it was a covenant, a promise after the flesh. That's what it was. And that was the reason that God granted that unto this great man. He said, your father was an Emoria. I have searched the words Emoria and tried to find the origin, its identity. It has no meaning. There's no definitive of that word. It has no precise precision of a people.
Yes, true.
It's not that. He said, your father, he said, the birth of this nation. You tell me that the Hamites, the Shemites, the Yephthahites, you think that all went this way and they went that way and they went that way. That's stupid. Yes. As they intermingled, the growing, they began to branch out. That's how that happened.
Yes.
That's how that happened. And the Torah goes back to a certain lineage of Abraham, and all these are immature individuals. Who's your father? Oh, he was a black man. Well, who's your father's father? He was a Filipino. Where you're a Gentile. This is how stupid they are. But yet, they don't even believe in DNA. Let one go to jail with all the testimony he got, and they put the charge on him. Yes. And the only thing that will exonerate him is DNA. They'll believe it then. This is how immature this world is, and how stupid it is. And that's just factual. And there is no one without the kind of knowledge in this world like those that identify as his elect. It separates them. Everybody goes their own way. At least the heathens will congregate. True. The Muslims, they will get together. They bind up Michigan, Detroit, Flint, Michigan. They own it. They own everything. Yet these greedy, grubbing dogs, big-belly swines, rob the people. True. Yet there is no investment at all. No, we have given everything here. Yeah. I may be a big-belly man, but I have not robbed the people. Yeah. And stole and lived some kind of life. 4 or 5 women that I call them my wife. Right. You're a dirty dog. Yes. That's a fact. You are a dirty, dirty dog. Yeah. That's a fact. Dogs do that. Cows do that. Yes. He did not make us like a cow.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Wolves do that. Lions do that. He did not make us that way.
Hallelujah.
He did not make you to have your daughter.
Hallelujah.
That which perceive, he didn't do that. So you must understand those people, the Shemites, the Yephthaites, and the sons of the Hamites, or the Canaanites, or the Hamites.
Yes.
They didn't just separate from each other. They all looked just like each other. That's a fact.
Yes.
And through the migration of areas, the skin complexion and all of that changed.
Yes.
So they were all really together. That's why we're Torah and that they were all Hebrews.
Yes.
They were not just Israelites.
Right.
They were all Hebrews. From his loins, he brought out a nation that he would establish before the nations, that all nations would be blessed.
Hallelujah.
I prove that. Can the book prove it for us?
Yes.
Hallelujah. He said, you don't even know your father was an Amoree. All we know is they were the people in Canaan.
Yes.
But it tells us no Pacific. You find something, let me know. If you find a book, I don't want the book, let me have it from the book. And he says, your mother was a Hittite. She was a Hittite. A Hittite. Well, I know that the Hittites derived from the second son of Ham, so they all looked alike.
Yes.
They all looked just like each other. And they intermingled.
Yes.
They intermingled. They did all of that.
Yes.
That's what they did.
Yes.
The promises were not given because we're great.
No.
They were not given because even before that time, even in Abraham's time, they didn't even really, didn't even give them his name for them to call him by his name.
True.
And that's a fact.
Yes.
But let's go a little farther here, all right? Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I want to read, we're going to continue here in this chapter of Ezekiel. But I want us to examine quickly BERESHITH, Genesis 11, verse 31. Who these people of this land of Kinayaan, who they were and how they developed. It says in BERESHITH 11:31, and Terah, he took Avram, his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, and the son's son, Sarai, his daughter-in-law, his son Avram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur. You see that?
Yeah.
They went from Ur unto the land of the Chaldees, and they went into the land of Canaan. You understand? They left, they went to Canaan, and that's where they were. And they came to Haran, and they dwelt there. That's where they lived. A people of complexion, a people that there were contact,
Yes.
sons and daughters being born, and sons and daughters engaging, and sons and daughters marrying.
Yes.
They were all of the same identity. They were Hebrews. They were not YisraYah'ale. And YisraYah'ale came by, as we were reminded on this powerful teaching the Zakim taught.
Yes.
It was made a promise according to the flesh. Let me show you this man, Abraham. I want all you Hebrew Israelites to answer this. This is in the book of YHWH. Now, many of the groups will not identify with the books like I do. But this one book that most of them will identify with. They will accept portions of it to their liking. Look what it says in the book of YHWH, chapter 26, verse 29. This is after the death of Abraham. I want to read this intently. I want us to get wisdom. It says, and it was at the time that Abraham, he died. Ooh, his life had expired. it tells us it was in the 15th year
Yes.
of the life of Yaakov, and also of Esav, the sons of Yitzchak, and all, not some. It's amazing how many times this word all. And someone keep account of that. I didn't count them all, okay? So someone just put a mark down and let me have how many times I use the word all. It is here, right?
Hallelujah.
Say why? It says in all the days of Abraham, they were 175 years. And he died. He died. And was gathering to his, it says, his people in 12 old age. And it tells us in the old, and he's satisfied with the days of Yitzchak and Yishmael, 2 sons now. Nowhere the Torah negates the heritage of Yishmael. He said those 2 sons, they buried him. Then it says in the next verse, verse 30, and when the inhabitants means, or it implies the populace or the population. When the inhabitants of Canaan, not some, but the inhabitants, they heard that Avram was dead. They all came with the kings, the princes, and all their men to bury Abraham. Why would they do that? What would be the instinct of that? And all, verse 31, and all the inhabitants of the land of Haran, Karam, all, that's some. They all came, and all the families of the house of Abraham, and all the princes, and also the grandees, of those that were the social elite, those that thought there was someone, even them all. And the sons of Abraham, even the sons of his concubine. All now. All came that they heard of Abraham's death, and they for what reason? Just to repay,
yes,
to acknowledge one thing: Abraham's kindness. There's nothing like kindness.
Hallelujah.
There is nothing like kindness. Even the devil will stand back and look. Not this delusion of false kindness. They all came because to repay this man, to requite, to repay him of all his kindness. Not only that, and also to comfort Yitzchak, his son. And they buried Abraham in a cage, which he brought from Ephron, the Hittite. He was buried among those people. He purchased a cave to be buried in their land, and his children for the possession of a burial place. And it says in Yeshua 26:32, and all, not some, and all the inhabitants of Canaan, and all those who had known Avram.
Yes.
He was a kind man. He stood for the things of Yah, the principles of righteousness.
Yes.
They all, they bewailed, they cried with great groaning of expressions, because there was one that was lost, that could not be replaced. But yet he was the kind and the type that would come and bring open the fullness,
yes, yeah,
of kindness. And where Yah's Ruach is, He says for Abraham, this is how long the Torah commands us, we go, we bury 1 7 days, we just, you stay around and eat and bewail the one that's died. But they did this for him a whole year. They bewailed this man. They bewailed no president for a whole year. Kennedy was this patriarch of deliverance. He was a devil.
Yes.
He was a liar.
Yes.
He was a corrupt, womanizer, and adulterous dog. That's why they put those men equal with their Jesus, who was a dog as well.
Yes, hallelujah.
Put them on the same picture. He says they will for Abraham a whole year. Oh, the men and the women, they mourned over him. They cried. They were so sad. And not only that, and all the little children,
Yes.
and all the inhabitants of the land, they wept on the account of Abraham. For Abraham had been tough to them all. So don't tell me the damn lie that you treat everybody nice and they just love you. No, if they weep for you, that's the way we think. I'm tough to everybody. I'm so good to everybody. You a liar.
Hallelujah.
When this man died, we show you why he was tough to all. Because he was honest.
Hallelujah.
He was straight up. They wept for a whole year. There ain't nobody in this country has wept for a year.
Hallelujah.
They may weep for an hour and get drunk the next hour.
True.
Why did they do that? Why was that? He said, because Abraham had been tough, not to some, but to them all. Go. No exception. Everyone, he was excellent to them all. Don't tell me we're that way.
Hallelujah.
We're full of our own dung. He was tough to them all.
Yes.
And because he had been Yosha, he had been upright, first of all with Yah, then was the same capacity
Yes.
with men. He did not say a man, but with men. That's the way he was. He was straight up and real. I don't like phony people. I don't like pretenders. I like real people.
Hallelujah.
He was real with everyone. He was not fake. He was not phony. He was real. And they knew they had met someone special
Yes.
in their lives that they could share with their children. Now, this in verse 34 is either a lie or it's the truth. And there arose not a man. There arose not a man. There arose not a man who feared Yah like Abraham. From that lineage, because he was faithful to Yah.
Hallelujah.
He offered up his beloved of the lineage of the house. Just like Yah sent his begotten, the Son of eternal life.
Hallelujah.
And that pleased Yah. And Yah knew that he could trust him with anything. We don't give up one singular damn thing for Yah. We hold on to our lust, our wickedness, our evil ways, our corruption. That's what we hold on to.
Hallelujah.
There was no other man that feared Yah like Abraham. For he had feared Yah, his sovereign. Look at this. Young men and daughters of Zion, fear Yah.
Hallelujah.
From his youth, he was young and he feared Yah.
Yes.
From his young age, he feared Yah and he had served him. He
Hallelujah.
served him honorably and with honesty, with integrity. And he had served Yah and had gone, he had walked, halach, not some, but in all his ways, his derech, during his life. How far back? From his childhood to the days of his youth.
Hallelujah.
He had walked that way with Yah. I don't have that testimony until his death. Verse 35. And Yahweh was with him and delivered him from the counsel of Nimrod. Nimrod say, kill him.
Yes.
Yah says, no. And the great council, the king of what we knew of the earth at that time, his counsel was to destroy this righteous man. How did he know he was righteous? This dog said, I will ascend and I will become a god. But he died.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
And that's what this pride exudes. Man, I just found I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I tell you what, you should have found out you were a dirty sinner and wicked. Dirty and filthy. You were corrupt. You were vile. You stunk. You stunk.
Hallelujah.
You stunk to the lower hells. And that you were a stinking, dirty swine of a detestable thing.
Yes.
I just found I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You're a damn liar. You're corrupt. You're evil. Man come to me and say, that's a different ball game. I might say, come on, have a meal with me. I'll cook you some fried chicken. Hebrew Israelite. He kept him from the counsel of the wicked, Nimrod, and his people. And when he had made war with 4 kings of Elam, he conquered him. So you know only Yah could keep this man.
Hallelujah.
He was the only one. Then he says this. Verse 36. And he brought, introduced, connected all, not some, not a few, but all the children of the earth. He brought not some, the Hamites, the Imri, Haran. He brought all the children of the earth to the service of Yah. That's what he did.
Yes.
These dogs that I've traveled 10 million miles. Every country, I brought many to the Lord Jesus Christ. And they as cross as you are.
Yes.
This man, nobody wept for Billy Graham, the old fool at the latter part of his days. They did not weep for a month. The false realities of lies, they didn't have to allow this man. I'm bringing a point home to let us realize here's a nation that Yah formed that was nothing. It was stunky, had nothing, and all of a sudden you rise up to the height that you got your new pair of shoes and you think you're something and somebody, and that you began to interpret things according to your liking. It's a lie.
Hallelujah.
Yah doesn't need for us to interpret the time of the more dim is plain. It's your private interpretations that get in the way. Yah did not confuse the days, the numbers of time with a month or nothing is. He did not tell you, let me say this, may I please, my friend.
Hallelujah.
Anyone that lives in an area where there are stars, please, call me. I want to find a starlit night. Like it was in the days of Meton, the Metonic cycle. Give me one name. These fools will debate that, son, and they can name one star. Tell me what star in its aligning. If it's not aligned, how do you know? You are a liar.
Yeah.
And your children that you raise up under these lies, just like you. He made it so simple. He didn't make us to count figure in days and to make days appropriate for only one people or a kind or nations. It was universal for his people because they're everywhere nation. That's why Avram taught all the people. Not only did he teach all the people, he taught he brought all the children of the earth to Yah. Everyone. Even those that are of the kingdom of Nimrod, even them, they will say, this man. They cried in that secret place because they knew that it was genuine. He caused them to know Yah. And he formed a grove and he planted a vineyard. He knew that this scepter, this SHABBAT, his name is Yeshua HaMashiach, not some faggot, Jesus. So he planted the vineyard. We'll understand this as I continue. Therein, and he had always prepared. Listen to what it says carefully. He had always, not sometime. He prepared in his tent meat and drink to those that was passed through the land. You tell me that Jacob and Yitzchak were not like that? It made no difference because he said, I can by example testify of the greatness of Yah. He caused everyone that was passing through, that he would say, come to my house. There are dogs out there that call themselves Hebrew Israelite. They said, I will not give an African a piece of bread. That's not even humankind. Does it say that those that were passing through the land, that means a gear, a stranger?
Yes.
Because you don't know who you're entertaining. You got to ask who's your daddy to know who's a babe. YisraYah'ale. That's a sick questionnaire, isn't it?
Yes.
That's sick. You don't need to know my daddy. And most of these that spouse these teachers, they don't even know their daddy. Whole lot of them. And don't talk about the grandfather on the mother or father's side after 2 generations. They don't even know them. I know of my father. I don't know who his father was. I don't know who his father was. I don't know no great granddaddy. I don't know him. On either side of my lineage, my mother or my father. But there was not one that passed through the land. And they could see the great work in the hand of Yah, even in that land. That's what he was blessed by the promise of Yah, that his zerah will be a blessing to all nations.
Hallelujah.
To all nations. To all nations, not some. Well, that means just YisraYah'ale because they're part of all nations. Sure they are. And they're just beginning to say that. Well, they're scattered everywhere. Because in the days 15, 20 years ago, they were not saying that. They were saying they're in North America. They don't even mention Brazil by name. But they will mention Cuba. They will mention Haiti.
Yes.
They will mention Puerto Rico. And you tell me one of the largest population of people of my hue, Brazil, you have no regard or respect for them. Damn your feces of your folly.
Hallelujah.
More slaves went there than here.
Yes.
More slaves went to Brazil. The route was shorter than here. It's much more of them than us here in this country. And they have been so homogenized through the Spanish blood. And now they want to say the Spaniards, they were Moors. You know the Moors were black, so they were Hebrew Israelites. This is the stupidity of the concept that a gullible mind will buy. That a gullible mind will buy. Just like that man, I guess that was his wife by some kind of form of their own legalities. There in New Jersey goes into that market and shoot those that call themselves Jews. And somehow he had posted that he was a part of a Hebrew Israelite gathering. And so you know how that went. You know how that went. I explain myself to no one. I will not allow someone to incriminate me. Not at all. And that's what he did. He made a beautiful grove. He would say, come, eat, you're hungry, you're passing through. Come on, let me talk to you about the great king. Let me talk to you, the one that has been with me since I was young, to destroy Torah and the house of gods. He came out of a house that the father was a God's man of demons. So where you think you come from?
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Bless you, Yah.
The Torah doesn't give us a whole literature in every aspect of everyone. That's a fact. Look what it says here. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
In the next verse 38. And Yah the Almighty delivered, made free. It did not say some of the earth, but it says WHOLE. That means the entirety, doesn't it? He delivered the whole earth on the account of Abraham. Those that was as pagan. Well, he delivered the earth. No, the earth implies the people and all of their ignorance and all of their folly.
Yeah.
When his hand would have come down and destroyed it again, but by promise. He delivered the whole earth on the account of Abraham. And it was after the death of Abraham that Yahweh blessed, it was after his death, that he blessed his son Yitzchak and his children. And Yah was with Yitzchak, and he had been with Father Abraham. For Yitzchak kept all the commandments of Yahweh as Abraham, his father, and had commanded him. He did not turn to the right, nor did he turn to the left. He did not turn to the right or to the left from the right path which his father had commanded him. He did not change anything. He kept in the way that Yah commanded him. He did. He did not do anything contrary to what Abraham had done.
Yeah.
That's why when Yaakov stole the blessing, yes, that's what he did, of Esau, the firstborn, he did not curse. He did not say to Esau, there is no blessing. Yah bless the heritage of Abraham, because they all listened to me, Hebrew Israelites. They all were Hebrews. Nothing made them a YisraYah'ale but by the promise. And he identified them because he knew that Yaakov would prevail. And it simply means Yah prevailed. You have prevailed against all opposition. That's what YisraYah'ale means. And it's only by the power of Yah. Only by that power. Abraham taught everyone of the essence and the beauty of Yah. And the whole earth as the known spear, the Olam, they knew about him. They knew about him. How can it be that only those that of my you coming from the slave ships are the Hebrews, and yet the Seminole Indians and all of them are? They were never on the slave trade. And that's a lie. You can contort anything you want to and make it fit your strip. It's a lie.
True.
It's just a flat out lie. So Yah said to us, what makes you think that you're better than someone? What makes you think you don't even do what I say? Your God is YouTube. It's texting all damn day. It's Facebook. That's your God. There's nothing that you say that stirs the heart of a stranger walking past you. You're going to be my slave one day. Oh, stop it. We must understand that Esau was a grandson of Avram. He did not forget Ishmael. They were not 12 tribes. He did not give them nations, but he blessed them richly.
Hallelujah.
The children of the concubine, after Sarah died, of his wife, he blessed them as well. So how do you know where the blessing of Abraham according to the flesh is bestowed upon anyone? You don't know.
Hallelujah.
And you buy all this jacked up hyperbole because you're full of lies and corruption. We're nothing, nation.
Hallelujah.
Don't think you're somebody special. Don't think that they all cried for Avram. The earth was shut down The whole land where he was shut down. Because he was a beautiful man.
Yes.
I can describe that to me. I talk about me. He was a beautiful man. And everybody loved him. So this chapter is dealing with one aspect in this chapter here. Who do you think? You think because you say you are a Hebrew Israelite, that make you kingdom bona fide? The man that killed those people in Jersey, he identified as a Hebrew Israelite. You think it was righteous that he murdered the people the way he did? We got some foolish lines here. Well, they were Esau. They were not Jews. I'm not a Jew. And you are so ignorant that you identify as being a Jew. That shows me a great depth of stupidity. There is no Jew. The word has no power, had no existence in Torah at all. None. Period. They were wrong. And they are wrong this day. So y'all saying to us, don't get high-minded. That doesn't mean because you say you're Hebrew Israelite, that secures the attention of Yah. Then he pays attention to you. It means nothing.
No. True.
You didn't come out of nothing special. And that's a fact. I come from, quote, a good family, unquote. They were thieves and liars and devils just like anyone else.
Hallelujah.
There were whores and everything else and dogs of men. No damn different.
Hallelujah.
I come from an educated family. You'd be surprised what your granddaddy did if you knew if the gates of hell could tell his story.
Hallelujah.
It's sad. I'm nothing. I don't want to be nothing but nothing. Because at the ultimate end, nothing from nothing is going to leave nothing.
True.
I will leave nothing. I will leave no heritage, nothing. My name will be forgotten like yours. So we're all in the same ship,
Hallelujah.
in the same boat.
Yes.
You're not special.
Hallelujah.
Yah has just made us special.
Hallelujah.
Only if we do what he commands us.
Hallelujah.
You're not a sugul of people if you don't obey Yah. You're not half of no nation. The riches of his nation that he proposed for them, that nation they would lend to nations. We can't lend a cock nickel to no one. And they identify as, I'm not having some kind of disparaging coming into account about the true identity of his nation, his elect. But this is folly what I've seen. It is juvenile, trivial. That's all it is. It doesn't produce nothing. No wealth, no stores, no nothing. Yet Indians come here and own hotels. Chinese and all. And we all think that they're coming here getting loans to do that. That's bogus bull. That's bogus bull. They just don't live like you. They don't live like you. The Indians will stay at a hotel and not buy a $5 million mansion. The Chinese, they will lay on the floors and down the floor and they will stay with each other and work everyone. And they will work 24/7.
True.
And everybody else get to venture out. They make their money, they move out. If it's down the street, it's just not so. We are the borrowers and we should be the lenders.
Hallelujah.
And if those that even under the umbrella of all those groups, if they just get together, they're so wicked. And the reason they're wicked is because they love money. Because my share will be broken down. I want more. There's nothing I want. And money certainly is not one. Oh, I want some money to use it. For us. For us. Hallelujah. Let's go back to YisraYah'ale. I want to deal with this for one moment, all right?
Yeah.
YisraYah'ale, YisraYah'ale, chapter 16, verse 4. He talks about their moledeth. He says, and as for your moledeth, those that are the same birth lineage the offspring, as for your moledeth, in the day that you were born, you were brought forth, your lad out of the womb. He says, your navel, Yeshua, your navel was not even cut. Neither when you wash, you were not even clean, you were filthy.
Yes, God.
You were not even washed with water to clean you. I bless y'all for the living water. You will not even rub with salt at all, nor khatal or swaddle.
Yeah.
You were not even clothed. You were naked as a jaybird. You stunk.
Yes.
You did not stink. There was a stunkness. I know what I'm saying. You stunk. You were not even bathed. You were not even swaddled. That word swaddle is only used 4 times in Torah. See, we don't look at things and emphasize things. Why were they not swaddled? Because there was one that was coming, that he would be swaddled. Can I show who he is? Right here in Lucas. This is how the birth of this nation should have been, because he is the scepter of this nation. Luke 2:7. It says, and she brought forth her first son, Miriam, and she wrapped him in swaddling. He was clothed. He was clothed. There was no nakedness. There is no shame about him. And she wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him down in the manger. Not this damn twisted lie you call Christmas. And the foulness of this corrupt thing that you will call yourself celebrating next week. Why? Because there was no room in the inn. Verse 12 of the same chapter. Look at this now. And this shall be a sign to you. He was a stranger. Just like we are strangers and pilgrims sojourning through this land. Just like in Hebrews 11, we're sojourning, we're traveling. But he is clothed with what? That swaddling represents the righteousness of Yah.
Hallelujah.
And Yah knew from the beginning of that birth there was nothing innate in them through the lineage they had come out of that would carry that constitution of Avram. You know why? They hadn't been taught. They were evil. They loved evil. They loved wickedness. And nobody taught them. The Kohen forgot the days of God. They forgot everything that constituted the righteousness of God. And that's why they were not swallowed. They were naked. They were naked. They were not even washed. There was no one to wash and to cleanse. The Kohen did things for money, for their favor.
Yes.
Yeshua says he come and he was swallowed. He was clothed with the righteousness of Yah, with the soundness of Yah's mind, with the truth of Yah.
Yes.
That's what he was clothed with. He was not naked. He was clothed. There was no place for him. And there's no place for you, YisraYah'ale. We're strangers. We walk this earth as pilgrims, scattered abroad. You'll know a true ach, a daughter of Zion, when you meet them, because the glow of his ruach, not because one said, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. There were some of the most, I will say this, those that identify with that mantra, they're some of the most evil people. They're worse than the Christians. T.D. Jakes will have his woman on the side, his side woman. But these dogs are evil. There's some evil dogs. You don't reduce a woman, a daughter like that. You're never intended to be. Never! He didn't give Adam 10 wives. He gave him a helpmeet.
Yes.
And Ezra, someone special, makes you a qualified champion of a man. That's why she is the richest of a man. She brings richness and substance and wealth to a man. I know you haven't been taught right. You've been ignorant all your life like the man. I know that. He didn't know. He had no dad to teach him the beauty of your mother. He didn't have that. Your dad is doing the same thing their sons were doing.
True.
Out pumping, daddy pumping. He didn't know. You can't hold that to him. In the sense, you can't condemn him and say, you didn't do that, you didn't. Well, he's on the right road now. He will mend all things.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I'm glad God doesn't do that.
Hallelujah.
Because from yesterday to today, I would have been, I'm gone. No, I don't have to perform any sin. I don't perform sin. I don't go and engage in sin defiance. I don't do that. I don't do that. That's just a fact. My heart is in a constant repentance all the time.
Hallelujah.
Repent all the time, every day, all the time. Not just when I did something, when I think I've done something wrong. Because anytime I think I've done something right, you know you're wrong.
Hallelujah.
He's wrong. And that's just a fact. Getting back to YHWH, a people. Look what he says in YHWH 16:5. He said, there were no eyes that even whose. There was no one that looked upon you with compassion. Nobody pitied you. Nobody. They had no pity for you. For what? To do any of these things. They didn't even want to wash you. They didn't want to touch you. There are people that I've met, I don't even want them to touch me. I'm not going to lie. I don't want them to shake my hand. I don't let them shake my hand. I don't let them touch me. I don't let no man embrace me. No, I just, no man has come and been with us or come around me, and I don't even know what kind of man he is. That's a fact. I do meant to show them God's kindness.
Hallelujah.
But I know what you're going to do. You can't stay around me long, and that's a fact. That's a fact. Now, one of them, what they have done, I know, and I knew it from the beginning. That's why I'm never, you all been here with me. I've always left you all to kind of integrate with the men, because when I get to talking, I talk truth. You all the buffer. Your words are sharper than not like my words. You understand?
Yes.
And that's a fact. And so I've embraced them, but I knew that they were small. I knew what they were. I knew what they could carry, and they couldn't carry much. And that's a fact. I will not ask him to lift 100 pounds, but I'll lift 100 pounds. These men could not lift 100 pounds. They could not. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. No eyes pitied you or nothing. No one had compassion on you, but you were shanak. You were thrown away. You were cast out into an open field. You were so low. You were a go'ala. You were nothing. You had nothing of value, of importance at all, of your person, of your nefesh.
Yes.
And then he said, in the days that you were born. This was your disposition. This is what you were. And for you to think you have arisen to the zenith of an extreme power, that you're going to interpret my mind, that's stupid. That's crazy.
Yes.
It's no different than the Baptists with I don't know how many kinds of Baptists. I will search that out and see how many different denominations of Baptists and Methodists, and all of them, they are in this nation. It's no different. It's no different. Yah is Echad. He's not two. He's not 50. He's one. There's not 50 forms to come to him. There are not 200 different kinds of Hebrew Israelites. And they all got their own little niche. And they all know everything. And they all got it together. And no one has got what they got. That's stupid. It's not even stupid. I've always said, even in my early days, as ignorant as I was then, and men out there that are teaching with the profound utterance that I don't even come close to. And they're separated from me like I'm them, because our voices are not going to be heard. They're not going to be 10,000 people packing out nothing from me and them. So they're those small men like me, in the sense, only those that young tend to hear them. They will hear me. And that's just a fact. And I still believe that today, that true Achim, they love Yah. They do. And they're real. Just a few like us. The seams are not bursting with them. That's just a fact. That's why just a few of us, we're going to gather in his name. The name of YHWHSHUA. Just a few now. Behold, he's going to be in the midst. All right? Hallelujah. 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 And that's a fact. He says to this people in verse 16, this is beautiful here. He said, I got me something here. And yes, he said, and when I passed by you and saw how defiled, how polluted you were in your own blood, I said to you, when you were in your blood, he says, live. I want you to be strong. I ain't talking about your sins, your dirty, evil ways. He says to this nation, you'll be made strong. I want you to live. I want you to come alive and remain alive. Live. I want your health to be restored, your life. I know you're dirty, you stink, and the flies are all over you. He said, I said to them, live. Yes, I said to you, when you were in your blood, live. When you were in your blood. And now there's a blood that we live in, we bathe in, and we live by that blood. In the blood, the dam of Yeshua, HaMashiach. That's how we live. He goes on in verse 7, he said, I have caused you. I have caused you to multiply as the birds of the field. You have increased and waxed great. And you have come to excellent ornament. He said, your breasts are fashioned, and your hair has grown, whereas you were naked and you were bare. That's a profound statement. When you had nothing, I took you as my wife. You have nothing, and I caused you to multiply. I bless Yah for one bed to lay in fellowship. The sons of YisraYah'ale. I do. I bless him for his wonderful blessings for his family. For his family. I do. I ain't talking about his family. He said, I brought you up out of the great agony of your pain. You were dirty, you were stinking. And then he said, I caused you to multiply. I caused you to be raba'ah, to be many, more than the stars of the heaven. The matter of fact, I want to read what he says here in Yesha, chapter 29, verse 29. This is important, all right? I want to deal with quite a few of the aspects of this verse 17, the waxen great, and you were arum, you were naked and bare. But look what it says here in Yesha, chapter 29, verse 29. Hallelujah. The multitude, the blessings of Yah, the greatness of the growing strong and waxing great. Gadola. He says in Yesha 29, 29, And may Yah give you and your seed the blessings of Father Abraham. That's what we have, the blessings of Father Abraham.
Yes.
We have those blessings. And make you fruitful. And Yah says you're going to multiply you, and you shall become a ruba, a multitude. You shall become a number to such an extent it's beyond volume. You shall become a multitude of people in the land where you go. And may Yah cause you to return to this land, the land of your father's dwelling. You're going to go to the extremes of the world. You're going to multiply. You're going to be many. But may Yah bring you back to the promise. Because he has given us the land between the great Nile and Euphrates. That the slither land that they call Israel. Get out of here. Get out of here. 5 million people at the max. Yet it is depleted. You can't grow food there. There is no water to draw from the depths of the earth. But from the Nile, the great Euphrates, you can grow anything. You don't need no fertilizer. Just throw a seed out. It'll grow. It will sustain a people. That's a fact. Look at that. Kings County in New York. 19 miles north, south, east, west. 80 miles square just about. And almost 20 million people live there. That's crazy, isn't it? Look at Los Angeles County, the largest one in America. Nearly 15 million people live in that one little county. And they're sleeping on the streets and everywhere today. And all the vast of the land. And all the vastness of land. All the vastness of land. That's a fact. Land you can get for $1 an acre. That's why Mr. Ted Turner, he's the largest landowner in America. 5 million acres. He's rich. He can land his Lear jets there on his land. Whether it's Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, New Mexico. And yet you tell me a nation of people, they call themselves Hebrew Israelite, that there is no cognizance of understanding that one man cannot build a city. Two men, they can get started, but 10,000 can build a city.
Hallelujah.
10,000 can build a city. All their infrastructure. All their infrastructure. That they will be the marvel of the world. And bring in business that are conducive for them. That's what they can do. That's a fact. Yes. Their sons building a nation. Building houses for the wealthy. And all certified and qualified. Nobody built them cheaper. Nobody with the expertise of, but they were the leon there. That's what makes me angry. They may not eat hog meat, but they look like hogs. Yes. And they eat like hogs. They could build cities. They had it all there in Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, where they were lenders to even the Caucasian, and they burnt those people to hell, killed them.
Yes.
Because of jealousy. You can buy a whole state. Hell, it's not that many of you anyway. Most of them in New York and places like that. LA, full of poverty, poor. You're running from those that you say you're suppressors and oppressors. We run from no one here. In these rat holes of cities, the DCs, the Baltimores. That's a fact. The Atlanta. And the reason you will never do it, even amongst your little groups, is because you're selfish and greedy. I can say this. We bought this land. Yes, let me interject this, you all. Yes. We got this line from one of the meanest persons in Charlotte. And Mr. C was me. He will kill you. And he will let you know I will kill you. He had killed already 3 men. And he told me I've shot 14. And I don't play. I remember one day he had a wad of money. I'm not lying, it was like that. I said, Mr. C, why don't you cover that up? He said, I don't have to. I said, Mr. C, put the money. Don't give nobody. He said, I ain't doing nothing, preacher. He said, because I put it there because I want them to come try to take it. He carried enough firepower to take an elephant down. And yet, from that strange man. And the woman that sold him this land, he told me the story. Her words were this: as she sold all the land there to white people across here, and all this land was owned by black people on this side. And this was her statement. She could not integrate people back then. In the 50s and 60s, you know that was a plan here in the South or in the North or anywhere. And she said this. He said, this is what she said. I believe if I do right by colored folks, when I die, God will do that by me. He said, that's what she said. That's what she said. I believe it. And he bought this land for $5,000. We gave him $25,000. It was more land than he knew. Because they didn't have the technology they have today. They plotted land. They walked it off by foot. Even the surveyor said, you all made out well. It's more land than what. That we bought this land for average of right at $400 an acre. You could buy this land today here for that. This piece of land right here will cost you minimum $250,000 to $400,000. That's what it's going to cost you, $500,000 to $600,000. I've looked at the price of land. It's expensive here. And so don't tell me that these groups cannot get together and purchase a piece of land and start off first. Build their schools to teach masonry. And the sons of Esau that you call, they're coming. Yes, sir, buddy, I'll come in there and I'll show them how to lay. I give them all jobs. I set up your school there and I'll do it. Don't tell me they won't do it.
Hallelujah.
He has given us beyond favor with every kind of people, and they know what I stand for. They know I don't play. They know I don't tell jokes, and I don't steal and grin with no one. I've never done that since I've been here. Never. Yet God's given me tremendous favor, us, with every kind of person we've met. I don't smile. I don't laugh. I don't do that. I don't grin and skin. I'm as sober as any man can be. But it has given us favor.
Hallelujah.
They're too smart to do that. And to create a city that they love YisraYah'ale, they say. That's a lie. Because love makes you endure and tolerate. Mothers tolerate daughters, fathers, son. They endure them and then tolerate them. We don't even know how to tolerate each other. We will separate quickly. Moving quickly. Yes, I will multiply and you, make you great. He says here in Yeshua 29. He's going to make you fruit. Yeshua 29:29. And Yah will give to you and your seed blessings of the father Avram. And make you fruitful and multiply. Yet there are nearly 35 those that call themselves Hebrew Israelites. They are bought 35,000 babies every year. Can you imagine that? The senior, these dogs implemented that in the community to destroy these little poor babies. They're destroying them. And the young women that you cats that call yourselves Hebrews are putting babies and dumping babies in them and will not even, you're not going to give one damn nickel or a penny. But you get on the corner and bless me. You will not bless me. I wouldn't even waste my time with them. Hallelujah. And he said, you shall become a great multitude of people in the land where you go. And Yah will cause you to return to this land, the land of your father's dwelling. That's where we're going to return. We're going back to the land of our forefather, Abraham. And the children with great riches. Great riches. If we left America today, we're going back broke.
True.
You think this nation, when they came out of Mizraim, is going to give you the wealth of this country? That's a lie.
Hallelujah.
It's not even like they suppose or perceive it to be. With great riches. And not only with riches, but you're going to have great joy and with great pleasure. Verse 30. And Yitzhak finished commanding Yaakov, and he blessed him. And he gave him many gifts, together with silver, gold, and sent him away. And Yaakov hearkened to his father and his mother. And he kissed them, and he arose, and he went into Padan Aram. And Yaakov was 77 years old when he went out the land of Canaan from BERESHITH. Man, you know, man,
Yes.
but he obeyed Yah. He did what Yah commanded him to do.
Yes.
Yah says that he did not send the nation of Mizraim, bro. And you say this is this is Egypt here. They came out with abundance of riches.
Yes.
They borrowed and took. And they came out and go, what are we going to borrow here? If we go back to the promised land, we all can get, if 45 million people left America today, the country will go on after a week, there will be no food for you. Starvation, the stupidity.
Yes.
And that's just a fact. If he can, will he do something supernatural that, well, he can do the same thing here. First order of business, do something supernatural for you to be transformed. And that'll corrupt your heart and that selfish, wicked way of yours. That you truly learn how to love his nation.
Yeah.
Love his people and care for them with compassion and kindness and be like Father Avram. We don't give a knicker's worth of rat's dung about no one. What you care about others is what you care about you. The way you love you, and I love me royally. Ain't nobody gonna outlove me loving me.
Yeah.
Nobody. I love me.
Yes. Yeah.
So if I can do right by her, I can do right by God's people.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
If I can do right by her, and I can deal with her with fidelity and love and kindness, I can do the same thing. No different. No different. And if I'm corrupt with her, mean, then I would do the same thing to you. I wouldn't treat you that way. And if she's corrupt and nasty with me, she'll treat you all that way. She'll tell you the truth. And she will take the place of a mother and tell you. I know her. I live with her every day. I talk with her. That's a fact. I did tell her the other day, I must confess that. Unima came down for the, that's okay, you're coming in, for the sweet potato pie. So I said, no. We're pulling a hostage move here. Bottom line, no sweet potato pie, no coconut cake. No, this is it. That's the last of me. I said, no. Bring the coconut cake. And I didn't even know this daughter Zion. Get out of here. I said, you tell them no coconut cake, no sweet potato pie, bottom line. So when she comes back, I said, did you tell them what I said? And to my surprise, that alone before I went crazy. I shouldn't have did. Don't even go that way, my friend, please, all right? I went crazy. And I'll tell you how selfish I was. I'm not ashamed. Yeah. I cut that thing, it was squared off perfect. And I wanted to just get room temperature. I hid it from them. I put it behind a place where nobody could find it. Being honest. Yeah, I hid it from them. And the other two little, I hid that. Because if they had seen that, it would not have been a piece on the plate. So I slid it behind a place where nobody could find it. And because they traversed that way, that one there said, "There's cake." I said, "Get out of here. There's cake behind there. I know it's there. It's room temperature now. That all that, yeah." I said, "Get out of here. Get out. Get out," because I knew what was coming next. Get out. The last bit, I won't have to pull the hostage move on you again. Maybe tabernacle. I promise it will be tabernacle before I eat another piece. It's not difficult for me to do stuff like that. Once I put in my mind to do it, that's it. And I promise you that. Hallelujah. Look, he said this. We can see where he talks about the multiplicity of a nation, of his people. But look what he says in Matthew. Matthew. Concerning this nakedness, this arum. Matthew's chapter 25, verse 36. Matthew's 25, 36. I want to emphasize this important. Because he talks about them, whereas you were naked. You were naked. But this is the one that clothed us in the pure mind of our Matthew. Excuse me. Matthew's 25, verse 36. It says this. This is what YHWH says. This is what YHWH said. He says, as he emphasized one thing, the time of judgment, and we're all going to be judged. We can see here in Ezekiel, all of this from the 14th chapter, I believe until the 31st deal with nothing but one thing. They're corrupted in their judgment. But look at what YHWH says in Matthew 25, 36. He says, "Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison," he said, "and you came to me. Then shall the Sadiq answer him, saying, Hamashiach, Master, where or when did we see you and you were hungry? When? Where? And we fed you. Or you were thirsty in direst need of water, and we gave you water. Where do we see you?" Verse 38, "When saw you a stranger?" That's what we are, strangers.
Hallelujah.
The word xenos, we are aliens, we are foreigners. And you can identify a stranger. You see one that is strange to your community, you will know. He said, "When did we see you, or we saw you a stranger, and we brought you in? We took you in, or naked, and we clothed you." You haven't seen Yeshua naked or as a stranger? And we do that among each other. But this is how he retorted to their questions. Verse 43 of the same chapter. Matthew 25, 43. This is what they say to him. "I was a stranger, and you took me not in. He said, naked, and you clothed me not, sick, and in prison, and you visit me not. Then shall they also answer him." This is what we say. "Master, when did we see you hungry, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, gumnos, without the covering of righteousness, or sick, or in prison, and did not serve you or minister unto you?" And then shall he answer them, saying, "Truly, truly, I say to you, in so much or in as much as you did this not to one of the least of these, you done that unto me.
Hallelujah.
See, when they were naked, they had nothing. They were the least. They were the smallest number of people. But Yahweh, he betrothed them. He said, the least when you see a brother or sister and you become so grandizing, you become grander in your own way. I think you're better and you're smarter. You look better. You look just like anyone else.
Hallelujah.
You've lied to yourself to make you think you. It's amazing that these women, that they will put false titties. They will put false titties. No, I'm not going to stop saying the word titty. You don't have no idea what it means or implies. They will put false mess here, false stuff here, fatten their lips, take the wrinkles, and you call that beautiful? You're sick in your mind. You are stupid. You call that beautiful woman? You're sick. You're very sick. They will reshape. I'm not shaping this fat nose. I like it. I love my fat nose. What would you want to just a little nose, sir? She'll say, I can put my thumb. I know you can. I can get it clean too. I'm not changing one nostril. And I flare it out. I will not change one thing. Now get my teeth straight and I could get out of here. I could have had them all done like that. Put caps on there. I had perfect teeth. I would never. Put bracelets. And you put a bracelet on for what? This is me right here. I'm not ashamed of what I look like. Wearing those shoes that their foot's hurt. 6 8 and you are stupid. You call that beautiful? I call you a dummy. Destroying your health. These pigs designed them because they considered you a cat. That's what that dog got that look from, because he saw how the cat, the feline, walked like that on a tiptoe, and he got all you silly women walking like fools. You have bought someone else's hair that was poor, and you wearing that, you think you're pretty. You got on false eyelashes. Your fingernails look like it will look worse than a lion's claw, and you think that's beautiful. Any man that thinks that's beautiful, he's a sick creature. That's witchery. It's unattractive. It's ugly. Oh, you look so nice. Don't tell that lie to someone. They don't look nice. Can't even move that. Got fingernails that long. All of them different colors. And that place up there, Walmart, it stays busy, doesn't it? And those people don't give a knickers what the rat dogs mean about. They have no respect for them fools that go in there.
Sure.
They don't! Them wig shops, those women go there and buy that fake hair. You don't even have hair. 16, 17, they doing that. Getting silicone in their breasts, implants, in their buttocks. Fat on the sides because they want to be shapeless. But I tell you what, you're paying dime. And that's a fact. That's stupid. Shattering on your eyelids. So you don't have to do that, young one. You don't have to, because you already send the signal to this world of young men today. You're nothing but a slut and a hoe. That's a fact. That's how they think of you. You go in the natural ores of your body. You don't need no makeup. You don't need no face mascara or anything. Your beauty speaks volume for itself. Your beautiful brown skin speaks volume. Your beautiful black skin, the tone from the ebonies to the most creamiest, it speaks volume for itself. But don't never allow that to delude you. Just like this nation that you think you're someone and you think you're better, that's a foolish entrapment to your own insecurity. Anytime you think you're better, you're insecure. When you meet someone that think that they got or they're different, they're insecure. You understand? Because we all do the same thing every day. We eat, we relieve ourselves, and we all go to sleep.
Hallelujah.
That's what we do. You're nothing. And that's a fact. You brought nothing. So that lets me know that Mama, I don't care if she had $1 billion. You didn't bring nothing. Let Mama lose that and you'll see what you will have. You brought nothing. And if you're that great, it's a fact you're taking nothing. It's either this book is a lie or it's the truth. And you're going to all find out one day. All of us. You understand?
Hallelujah.
And that's a fact.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's just a fact. When you saw him, he said, what you do unto the least of them. Who is the least? The one we think of some that are less than us. I don't think of nobody that way. Matter of fact, I'm going to go out of my way to that one that have any indication that I think that way. No, I'm not trying to answer them, but there's nothing like, I don't care who the man is, a man that is lowly, he's struggling. There's nothing like, picking that one out. I don't care what it is. If it's nothing but words, there's nothing like, you can tell, I meet women when I go shopping and things, you can tell their lives. And that's why I showed them the utmost courtesy, just like I do you daughters. I don't care who the woman is. It makes me no different. You think that white women don't go the same thing that you women? They murder, they kill their husbands, they kill their babies, they abort babies just like you. They divorce, they got bastard children, just like I was. 2 of those UPS drivers, because of my honesty, they can tell me, I've never met my father. And they're just as Caucasian as they come. I don't even know who my father is. I asked my mother one day, and she said, I don't know. You know she had to be a low-down one. My mother did her thing, but she knew exactly who the daddies of her babies were now. She did. I don't know who my father is. I've never met my father. So I've gone through nothing more extreme than anyone. There are men that have never met their father. My natural brother has never met his father. And that's a fact. You don't have that crazy because you never met a father had a mother. There are mothers that have been mothers to young ones that they love them. And they care for them. Like that child that a mother stole from North Carolina many years ago. Didn't find until 20 years later. That woman raised that child because she never had a child. She raised that child. She went to the hospital and stole the baby. And took it down to Florida. And that child went to school and everything and all that. And when it came time for natural parents, when they found her by DNA, she says, I still love her because it was something how that woman took care of her. Yes. Although her parents were strangers and they had the same DNA values, she was of that birth. She did not discount her parent, but she loved that woman. The woman went to prison, but she still loved her. She didn't move close up here with the parents. She stayed down there by that woman. See, a mother can be a mother. I don't give a damn if it's not your child. A father can be a father. I have no children. But he can be a father. Or she can be a mother. That's why I commend any man. I honor you. And I salute you, my friend, that can marry a woman knowing that she has a child that's not his. And he raised the child and loved the child. That's a man. That's bona fide, baby. That's a real man. Yes, hallelujah. It takes a courage, a strength, and don't give a knickers worth of fats back. Hallelujah. I don't care whether he's saved or unsaved. When a man takes upon that, that's a man. He may have his disordered life, but he's still a man. I honor a man like that.
Hallelujah.
I honor a man like that. More than one that boasts, well, this man's short here. I don't care about that. Hallelujah. A mother that does that, she embraced them. Yes. And that's what we must do, nation. We must embrace them. He said, you're nothing. We're going to get into the depth of this thing in the weeks to come. Let me move on. I want to finish up here. Time is past. Let's go back, hallelujah, to Ezekiel 16:8. Ezekiel 16:8. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
It says this. And now, this is the nice part, this is the beautiful part. He said, now, when I passed by you and looked upon you,
Yes, yeah.
behold, your time was the time of your love. He said, I adore you. I just love you. You were naked, you were dirty,
Hallelujah.
you had nothing. He said, I just love you. And look what he says. He said, and yes, I swore to you to enter into a covenant with you, says the sovereign Yah,
Yes, yeah.
and you became mine. That's when he espoused,
Hallelujah.
married her. You had nothing.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
That's when she became his. She was nothing.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
She was naked and nasty. She was stinking. And for you to boast, you're a Hebrew Israelite. Come on. That means that's going to exalt you and exude you. You don't keep the commandments of Yah. You don't do that. And that's a fact.
Yes, Lord.
He said, I told you, I love you. Although I saw you, there was something special there. And when Yah found you, YisraYah'ale, on that road of great despair,
Yes.
and there's some have never had that truly transformation. You've done something, or you're married a man because you wanted the husband, or you wanted the wife. You've done things that was not truly transformative. But when Yah touch you, there's a transformation. There's a radical change. You don't act like you used to. You don't do that. And he said, I love you. That's a real man. To see something that dirty and that filthy. There have been men that married women that after 1, 2 or 3 days, overnight, and they have been together 50, 60 years. That's a fact. It will surprise you, the amount of them. And they knew there was a connection from J3. They've loved their wives. They've loved their husbands. They have. That fellow there in Detroit that will walk 5 miles one way every day to see his wife.
Yes.
He saw her in the laundromat, and he asked her to marry her. She had children. He raised them all. That's a man. That's a real man. Yah takes a filthy whore, don't even know her heritage, had none. He said, I'm going to vow to you. You're not a Hebrew because of what you have done. Because of your daddy, you don't know who he is.
Hallelujah.
That's insulting. Don't ask me that. I'll ask you, who's the baby's daddy that one in your house that's not your baby? How about that? That would really make them wrong. Hallelujah. That's a man.
Hallelujah.
Yah is the real Avram.
Hallelujah.
And he take us knowing that we were bastards, dirty. He said, that's what you want. You were filthy, you were full of blood. You were not even clean. He said, but I betrothed you to me. I love you.
Hallelujah.
I love you despite all of your filthiness and all of your shallowness. I still love you.
Hallelujah.
And you that don't even know how to love. You don't even know what love is. You don't even know what affection would carry. That's amazing, because there's something with affection when you know his care. Makes you strong too. Makes you healthy. It does. Makes you strong. Makes you healthy. That's what it does. And every aspect is enjoyable. That's what it is.
Hallelujah.
That's what I want for him like that.
Yes.
And your daughters, husbands that will love you, treat you kind. You may not have no money, don't worry, but that will honor you and love you. Take care of you. That's man's man. My kind of a man. You understand?
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. He said you were nothing. Can I show you the pattern of that throughout Torah? Go quickly to Hosea, chapter 2, verse 9. This is the same. This is when he betrothed this dirty whore to him, go and marry a woman of whoredom. What he said. Look at Hosea 2:19 and 20. And I will betroth you to me forever. There's no divorcing with this woman. Yes, I will betroth you to me in Sadiq, in righteousness. Not only in righteousness will I bring you to me, but also in judgment. He's going to judge this house. They call itself YisraYah'ale, and in love, kindness, and in compassion. To all of those, that correction and that chastising us, he says, all going to be done through love, kindness, and compassion. There's nothing like love, kindness, and compassion. Nothing. Nothing. A man can become very upset with his wife, and he can say to God, no! Never say anything that is insulting to your wife. You don't call her nasty names and things like that. Don't call her that. Don't do that, man. And why don't you call your husband no mess like that? It's best to be quiet. Just be quiet. And it's one thing a true man will show compassion and love kindness. When it's all over with, he's going to deal with compassion. He's going to deal with love kindness. He's going to, first of all, he's going to make up. He's going to make sure he'll mend that thing. Sure he will. Don't you mend with Yah? I'm wrong. He has taken us through great trials and has whipped our backside, yet he still shows compassion. He's kind to us. That's all right by me. You don't have to accept that, but I will. Hallelujah. And he says to this woman, that's a whore. Yah told him to marry this whore, and he married her. Yah says, it's going, now I'm going to bring you, you're going to be mine, but it's going to be righteous. And it's going to be by the way of judgment. I'm going to correct you. And not only that, it's going to be in love kindness, and I'm going to have compassion on you. And he says this, and I will even betroth you in me, faithfulness, and you shall know Almighty Yah. That's what he is saying. You're going to know me. You're going to know me. Even he pulls this thing, this people that were dirty. He said, you're going to know me. And of all the people of the earth, he formalized a marriage and a nation that will live by his stipulation, his laws, not by some corrupt drawing up of like the Constitution of the United States of America. The Constitution is different for a poor man than for Mr. Trump, isn't it? He breaks the laws of the Constitution, and it's all right. Can you imagine if old Barack did that? He would be in prison. Barack Hussein Obama would be in prison. But this dirty beast, Yah put him there. I'm glad. I'm glad he put him there. Your votes didn't rescue the Clinton heifer. I'm glad he put him there. Yeah, I am. Have you gone without anything? Have you all eaten? You had a little offering. Okay. Okay. You had that when Barack was in office. Okay. It's amazing Mr. Barack Hussein didn't give a knicker's worth of dog's meat of those that would break their mama's neck to get to the poll. Name me one policy. Well, he gave us Obamacare. Get out of here. I don't want it. Give me one policy. All I will see him doing things for the homosexuals. Laws for them. Making sure faggots could be in the military. I don't want to fight beside no soldier that's a faggot. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not fighting beside no soldier that's a homo. When I was in the military, that didn't play that. You put a man that's a homo in a foxhole, no, he would have broke his nose. You didn't let nobody know you were that way in the military when I was in there. They would have hurt you. They would have hurt you. And that's a fact. He gave the faggots everything they wanted. He wanted to put judges to make sure you could be a man married a man, a woman married a woman. Tell me, he did not go out his way for you folks of your color that you did all that for Mr. O.B. He did not. They can't name me one policy. Well, he made it, show me where he made it better. Tell me, you're still unemployed, first in prison and the last to get out. Same crime that another does, you get 3 times as much. Your communities are still poverty ridden, and you live still in the ghettos, and you still have no money. Get out of here. I will not vote for one of them. That's a fact. They're all devils.
True.
They're all devils. But y'all gave us a constitution that far exceed any constitution. No nation has a constitution like us. And it began with one of the most important things. You got to love him.
Hallelujah.
And I got to love you. As I love him.
Hallelujah.
Can't be no difference. Where I love you and I love him. If I don't give a damn about him, I don't give a damn about you. If I don't give a damn about you, I don't give a damn about him. If I do right by you, I've done right by him. If I do right by you, he's done right by me. That's the way it works. It doesn't work no other way, hypocrite. That's a fact. Naked. Well, we saw you naked and we didn't clothe you. He clothed us. She had nothing, but he clothed us. He had nothing, had been displaced from her promise of birth because of her sins, because of her evil, wicked ways. And that's a fact, nation. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. He said, but I will betroth you. I will make you mine. I will make you my beautiful one. And you shall be mine. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I want to show you the first place. Turn quickly to Shema. Exodus. Exodus. Chapter 34, 27. This is what God says. He made a bricks with us. Exodus 34, 27. And Yah said to Moshe, write you these words. For after the tenor of these words, the way I say it, I want it to be sound. I have made a covenant with you and with YisraYah'ale. He has only made one covenant, would be at YisraYah'ale. He made a covenant according to the flesh, because to Abraham that seed where the promise of that covenant will be fulfilled, it will come through his loins. And they will grow in magnitude and become strong, and they will become mighty in his mighty name. Yes, scared. Hallelujah. Ezekiel 16:9, quickly. He said, then I washed, I saw death. I did not just take a rag and put some soap on it, bathe you. He said it was an overflow. I wash you, I rinse you, I cleanse you. Ezekiel 8:69. He said, then I wash you with the Mayim, the heavenly waters of heaven. Yes, emphatically, I thoroughly wash away your blood from you. It takes the blood of my YHWH to wash away the sin. He's letting us know your state, you're full of sin. Hebrew Israelites are just as sinful as Esau and all of the corrupt world. They practice sin, they do sin, they do dope, they take advantage of the women, they do all of those things. They lie and they think because there's some Hebrew Israelite that justified them. They smoke dope, they get drunk, do everything. They club and do all of the evil. They do every evil thing. That they do anything they want to. They steal and they rob. And they will let you know I'm a Hebrew Israelite. The evil, the evil, the evil, the evil. And y'all saying, you think that gives you something because you say you're Hebrew Israelite? I hate it when they call me and say that. I found out that. Just tell me I'm a dirty thing. I'm sinful. I'm wicked. I didn't find out nothing. I knew my life was miserable. I was wicked. I didn't have no sense of value. I knew that. I knew that before I knew. He knew me in the sense that he brought me into his bosom like he did us from the beginning. And that's a fact. He said, I wash you up and I clean you. And I not just washed, but I thoroughly washed away your dam from you, your blood, and I anointed you with my shemen. with the fatness of gladness. Joy. I anointed you with that. That's what he has done.
Hallelujah.
Those that don't have the fatness of his oil, they're not his. Let me show you an example quickly. Psalms Tehillim. This is the joy. This is the fatness of our lives. Tehillim 45. I want to read verse 6 here. 2 verses 6 and 7. Tehillim 45, 6. This is what Dawid says. He says, your throne, O Yahweh, is forever and ever. It's a throne that is everlasting, Ulam Biyah. It never changes. And then he talks about the Shabbats. And that's what he calls us. We are the Shabbat. We are that branch, that little twig on the branch. That's how the Torah use that word, the Shabbat. Shabbat. He says, your scepter, your Shabbat, your rod, the branch, and the little tentacles of that branch. He says, the scepter of your Melchut is the scepter of Sadiq. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about that branch, that scepter, YHWH. YHWH HaMashiach. And then he says, you are Hava, you love Sadiq, and you hate wickedness. Therefore, Almighty Yahweh, your sovereign master has anointed you. That's what he anointed Yeshua with the oil of gladness above all others that shall come.
Yes.
There's no other fellow that has been anointed above with that oil of gladness like him. No others coming with that kind of oil of gladness like YHWH HaMashiach. No other one at all. How do I know this is YHWH? Because Shaul lets me know in Hebrews 1:8, quickly. YHWH is our oil of gladness. I don't have a dime if I think about that name.
Yes.
We sing the song, YHWH. YHWH is my king. YHWH I delight in. YHWH make me free. YHWH love me. I don't have to have words to sing. I just sing what my heart utters. YHWH made me free, made me glad. We anointed my head. YHWH is my all of gladness. He is my Shabbat. He's the scepter of his throne. His kingdom dwells here. His kingdom dwells here. I don't need words. I sing from my heart. I make melodies unto God all the time.
Hallelujah.
All the time. All the time. I think about him all the time. I preach to me all the time. I do. And I'm just being honest with you. Look what Shaul says here in Hebrews 1:8. But to the Son, I just read it. He says, your throne, O Yah, is forever and ever. A scepter of Sadiq, a scepter of your kingdom. You have Sadiq, and you hate iniquity. Therefore, Yah, even your Abba has anointed you with the oil of gladness above all fellows. There was no one gladder than YHWH. He is that oil that brings gladness. When you serve, when you allow the oil and the richness of that to flow, it will make you glad.
Hallelujah.
And you master Yahweh in the beginning have laid the foundations of the earth and the heavens are the works of your hand. That's how sure I can trust in that.
Hallelujah.
Before the foundations were laid, he had called us and elected us. Before you were thought of in your mother's womb, he had. For the word was there with Yah in his beginning, and there is no beginning. So there is nothing new under the sun with him. There is nothing that has been created in our little silly few years that wasn't there from the beginning with him. And there is no beginning with him. He knew man would be just the way we are. And I don't care if he could give you $1 billion. We will still be wicked. We will be evil. We will still be as corrupt as we are. He can give you 100 billion. He gave you something great.
Hallelujah.
He gave you, first of all, his oath.
Yes.
He gave you a covenant. He gave you a promise. He gave you his zabarim, and then he gave you the fulfillment of that in your Yeshua HaMashiach. And if you're not happy with God, he can give you $100 trillion, and you still will be crazy. So that's why he said, woman, look, I know you. You had nothing. You were stunky. You had blood everywhere. Look at your mammy and your pappy. Don't think you have some kind of pedigree that make you greater. Only reason you're great because I elected you and I made you special if you obey me, if you do what I command you, if you keep my commandments. We got to do what he commands us. We got to do that. Don't think you have it enrolled because you say, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You're nothing but a sinful, damnable devil and a liar. Lead us up. T.D. Jake take advantage of a woman. He's going to do it. Nobody's going to know him. He's got enough money, he can just buy what he wants. And that one knows she's getting a lot of money. She's not going to spill the beans. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yes.
These devils raping the women. I don't care what you say. No man can handle. They can say in their lust 5 or 6 women. That's a lie.
Sure.
That's a flat out lie. I don't care what your youth says. Who would want that anyway? I would. And that's a fact. Hallelujah. I want to close here with the prayer of Yeshua HaMashiach. It's an important prayer here. See this in John Yochanan 17:24. He knew, Yeshua knew that his time was temporal. Just like your time is temporal. You're going to have to lay down this old house one day, nation.
Yes.
Don't forget that. As much as we have opportunity, let us be kindly affectionate one toward the other. When someone is not kind to you, you be kind. When someone disapproves you, you be kind. I'm kind, but I can be stern as they come. I don't play. That's a fact. It's a fact. The UPS driver came, he called his manager, he said, man, he said, I'm down to this little community down here. I'm watching. And he addressed me in a certain way. I said, no, you don't address me now. This is how you address me. I will address you as captain. How are you doing, captain? But don't address me with those kinds of superlatives. You can say sir to me, but don't call me that. And he stood there, bashful. He didn't try to fight against me. As I one that come here, if I spend a moment of time with him, they love to stay around. The old other fella, he couldn't wait to get back in. And I'm trying to go in the house, it's cold. I said, get out of here, it's cold. See you. Because they understand the genuineness of people.
Yes.
People understand that. And then before the young man left, he said this. This is a nice place down here. I didn't know you were down here. I don't give a damn what anyone thinks. You that have lived here, even you that are here, it is a wonderful place to live. Bring your babies up, your wives, your husband. You're next door to some creep.
That's right.
You don't know how he's watching your wife. These folks are crazy. There are people that go in houses that are next to them and place little small. They got cameras that are so small and place them in there, and they're going to put them in position. They're going to see your wife, your daughter. You believe me? They got spy equipment today, like that stuff we used to see in the days like I Spy. You're only too young for that. There's only a few of us remember I Spy. What was the other one? They had stuff that they have today. Little cameras and, in a lamp or something like that. Just stuff that you would never recognize. And there are freaks out here. You'd be surprised what happens in this world. I'm glad that he has sheltered me from my own corruption, my own lust, my own greed. I'm glad of that, because he has revealed that unto me. He says this quickly. Yochanan 17:24. I will that all they also, whom you have granted given me, be with me where I am, that they may behold my majesty. I wish that they had the same kind of observance and observation as me, that they will see, I know, they will see what I am. I'm beyond any kind of expression of their own terminology, that they can see the majesty you have placed upon me, which you have given me. For you love me. He loved him before the foundation of the world. You think he loved us any less before the foundations of the world? When he loved him, he was before the foundation because he loved us. That's why he did that.
Yeah.
He knew that our father and mother, or the progeneration of a kind, would be dirty, and she would be out by herself with no man to look after her. You fathers have delivered your children, not some stranger.
Yeah.
Prying into the invasiveness of your issue. Come on, man.
Yes.
What a great blessing. And these cowards that say Esau, they won't even give him a piece of bread. But they deliver their babies.
Yes.
No, you're not going no place in America and tell them you want a black doctor. No hospital. You better get you somebody private and get your own black doctor. As far as you going somewhere and going to Carolina and say, I want a black doctor, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, this, get out of here. They'll let you lay on the bed and die. And that's a fact. Are you full of your bullshit? If anything, you met some black doctor on his internship. God bless, I don't have to have no, but yet the white man's medicine is flowing in you. You're stupid. This is a foolish world. It's crazy. You get all your loans from Esau. It's enough money where you can lend among yourselves. Well, Chinese people do that. You don't know what Chinese people are doing. You're not in their homes. They will kill each other. Listen, I want to tell you something. The image over here in America may be presented in this false dynamic where they work the people in those slave sweatshops in New York, in these big cities, and they live 5, 6, 7 to a place, and they work all day long and just give them enough where they can't get out of there. You're in a city like that, you can't go and find a place to live for $300 a month. That ain't about to happen. China, that nation, execute nearly 3,000 people every year. They kill women, they kill old, and they kill young. You get busted with dope, you die. You steal from the people as an executive, you die. You rape somebody, you die. You kill someone, I don't care what the cost, you're going to die. That's just a fact of the matter. And they don't do it with respect. They take them all out together and they line 4 or 5 up and they chop them down with them AK-47s. That's how they kill them. They're not looking for no decent way to kill nobody. It's facts. Well, Chinese come here and do that, and all the banks give them money. That's a lie. They save every nickel they got, they come in, they beg, borrow, and they become indebted. You don't know how they're doing it. And that's just a fact. That's a fact. Esau doesn't, the white man doesn't owe every white man money. That's a fact. Yes. Many, just as much poor white folks as it is, the whole states like West Virginia, all the mountains in Kentucky, the poor people up in there, Ohio and all that. There's many poor white folks as it is people that look like me. And they poor. And even white folks don't even respect poor white folks. Call them trailer park trash. No black man called a white person trailer park trash. They didn't know what a trailer park was. White people call each other trailer park trash. That's just a fact. And old poor trailer park trash, you just a step up because you got a double wide. Get out of here, man. There's not as many of them calling people that might hear the N-word as it is that people that look like me. And that's just a fact. It's not. You may hear old Jimmy Bob or the KKK get on that. I'm telling you folks, But that comes constantly out of people that look in your music and all of that. You call your women, the women that you abuse and lay with like dogs. Women, you all can be quite stupid. You call them that.
Yes.
You add the N word and the P word after. That's what you call them. No respect. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let me close with this last verse. He says this, John 17:26. I have ginosko. I've opened up the wisdom and revelation. I've declared the knowledge and understanding to them your name. That's what Yahshua has done. He has declared the name of the Father, and we declare it again, that the love wherewith, the achama wherewith Yahweh me may be in them, and I in them. That's why Yah elected that woman, that child, that people. Nobody cared, nobody watched them. They weren't even swaddled. They had no clothes on, they were naked. And yet they stripped Yahshua because he is the prototype.
Yes.
That's who he is. He came swaddled, but he left naked. We came in naked, and we're going to leave in the clothing of the righteousness of Almighty Yah. You have no privilege to sin and to do wickedly because you say you're a Hebrew Israelite. That's a fact. 400 years in slavery, you declare, has not disrupted or changed anything at all. They call those that are in the house in, and you're still calling each other and displacing and speaking marginal of them and marginalizing them. You're no different. You're still in the big house working, and you will say anything against those that don't agree with you. May the riches of God rest upon your nation. I don't intend to make friends. That's why I love you so much, my enemies, because I can talk this way. I'm going to eat today. I'm going to eat well. I'm going to eat leftovers, but it's going to be mighty, mighty fine. Yeah. I was going to enjoy my life. It's going to be mighty fine. I was going to eat. You understand? God blessed us to buy food. But we can't grow, and the last few years the garden has not been as productive. But this year, it's going to be wrong. Hallelujah. It's one thing about life you learn all the time. And that's what all of us should be, especially you, brother. You should always be learning and learning and reading, man. Yes. Don't sit around the house clowning and shut bucket and clowning and all that. I read all the time. This morning before I left, I'm not going to lie. Look, I can't tell you. But I'm always reading and looking how to enhance this place and to do what is necessary. We got a job to do this year coming up. We got things we got to get done. And we're going to get them done. Yeah. Bless you. We encourage you that have joined us. May the riches Yah rest upon you all in Yahshua's name. You send your tithes and offering. Yah has not done away with tithes. And for you not to pay your tithes, you're evil. Fact of the matter. You don't have to send them here, but pay your tithes and your offerings and bring them. Now people have no conscience of paying their tithes. And they think because they're Hebrew Israelite, it's all right. That's bogus. That's bogus. That's bogus. I told one, save your tithes. I don't want it, but you save it. You that are listening, you one that I'm talking to, save the tithe. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And they don't give one nickel, not a dime. There are those that will listen just to try to depose me. But they can't depose me. We were here before anyone that's listening I ever knew of. I got a friend there in the Virgin Islands. In the early days, she supported. I understand the economy of those islands. And so she wrote me about the word titty. That's mama, sister. I was still the words, you know. But she says it doesn't stop her from giving. And she lets me know who is she. Don't worry about it. And she sends the offerings in a government check. She does. And it's not that it's not enough. It's just what we need, daughter. Every nickel, every dime. I can see if I'm out spending money on foolishness, I don't do that. I don't waste money. I just don't spend money. That's some of you, you get money in your hand and it's burning. You can't save a nickel. That's sad.
Yes.
That's very sad. That's very sad. That's sad, sad.
Yes.
You got $5 put back to you for a hard day.
Hallelujah.
And I've done that these years. We're broke, but we're not broke. I put it that way. I've always done that. I've always done that. I haven't wasted God's money. I haven't splurged on me and taken vacations. Well, someone paid for, no, I'm going to, no, send me the money. And all of us take a vacation.
Hallelujah.
Let's go to the beach for one night. I will send you there. It's still cold. That's right. And fellowship and be around each other.
Yes.
That's what we do. I mean that.
Hallelujah.
You know, we don't segregate ourselves. No, don't do that. That's evil.
Hallelujah.
I don't give a damn who you are. When we go to the beach, we're around each other
That's right.
all the time.
That's right.
Make sure he's on the same floor. I'm going to put it in the hour. Same floor. Okay.
Right.
You remember what room you were in?
Yes, sir.
What, 408?
Hey.
Hey, that's right. I was in 405. And we fellowship with each other and care for each other. Join in with each other, the circle with each other. That's evil. That's how we do it. So, send me the money. I said to Zaki, we were coming, I said, well, it'd be nice. Just y'all can go down. It's cold. I know it's cold. Just rent 2 hotel rooms for the men that go and run. You know, it's just this. And just go down there, you can cook, and just let them get crazy on that beach. Leave early that Sunday morning. Brothers get back from work. Would you go to the beach? Would you go? You don't like the beach? Okay. You want to go to the beach? I'm telling you, sit all right. You want to go to the beach? You don't tell me you want to go to the beach. You know you. What about you? That's the beauty about it. You sisters can huddle together in a room and just look at this, what's it called, and just talk to each other and the youngins. That's right. When I was in the military, we all slept in the same barracks. That's how we bonded. And if I ever learned anything about caring, I learned it in the military. I did. Those sergeants I had, drill sergeants, that's why they were drill sergeants. They were all from now. They were tough fellows. You got to understand that the war started in Vietnam. They really started sending troops in 1964. My oldest brother went in 1967, 68, and the other one in 69. My oldest brother was at the height of the war. He was in the battle. They were killing. What I wanted, the war was from 1964 to 1975. But in 1975, if you enter, they cut that identity as a Vietnam era veteran. They don't name them because up until 1974, you got all the benefits, schooling and all that. That's how I was able to go back to school and things like that. But there was one thing about those drills. They would get in your face, they talk so they spit in. They call you a coward, your dog, your mommy's a hoe, she's a slut. And you call her a dog. Your mommy's a dog, that's what they talk. Well, they were strong men, they were muscular too, boy. You know how you didn't want to mess with that, you know. Come on, I had never eaten steak in my life, and all of a sudden I'm eating steak. 155 pounds. This man ever been as big as me that can run 10 miles? You don't mess with him. And they did. And I remember this. He was black as tar. This one cat from Philly thought he was jiu-jitsu. I'll never forget, we were on the place called Tank Hill. And this drill, this cat thought he could beat everybody. And he got snazzed with the drill. I don't never forget. We were in this place, Red Clay, down in Fort Jackson. doing PT. He said, your soldiers at ease. He said, come on down in the woods because I don't want anybody to see what I'm going to put on you. And this cat was supposed to be tough. That was on Tank Hill in Fort Jackson. When they came back, the fellow was crying. This cat from Philly, brotherly love. Trio went down there, put something on him. And you know what he did after that? Continue the PT. Let's exercise. Because you're going to need more than that. You go to non-baby. And they had a dedication of care.
Hallelujah.
I made $236 a month. But when everybody left those drills, we didn't have no money because we gave. Because they were real, man. Sergeant Mingo and all them cats. They were real. And they would talk to you like they were dogs, but they taught us something. Because they didn't want us to go to Nam and die like they watched their friends die. Yeah. That's why they did it. And they would talk to you, spit in your face, you're dirty, mommy, you're punk. You go ahead, hit me, man. Come on. You mean, let's take a walk. Those cats was fit as fiddles. They didn't have no gut like me. They was built, man. From no push-ups and sit-ups. Get out of here. And they didn't play with you because they cared.
Hallelujah.
They cared. And then they took us through that 8 weeks of training that we understood. And that day when the inspecting general and all on the day of graduation, that's why the steps were right. Your shoes were shining, polished. You didn't have one slither hair. Back then, you didn't have no beard. I don't care who you were. You shaved it all. Your face was clean and soft. This is the beautiful face. But there was a bond with them in a connection. I left from Fort Jackson. They sent me to Fort Leonard Wood. And the sergeants, they pick squad leaders by physicality. I got to be 175 pounds. I put on 25 pounds. I was pretty tough. 150 something to 175. And that's push-ups and sit-ups. That's what I weighed. And so we got to Fort Leonard Woods. The drills, the commanders, they picked squad leaders. They ran us all through PT tests, all physical tests, sit-ups and everything. Obstacle courses and the bars and all that. You had to be one of the top 4 to be a squad leader. And so being a squad leader, everybody slept in a barrack. And we as squad leaders, we had our own private little area. And then the same one picked me as a squad leader. He bust me down for one reason. Because I wanted everybody to like me. Come on, soldier, let's go. I'll help you, helping them clean up something. I remember this Trio came in one day. He says, Roberts, could I see you? Yes, sir, Trio. He said, I don't ever want to see you do that again. You tell them what to do, and they do it. And the reason why, you're numb somewhere, and you tell one to do something, they don't do it. Whoa. So I waited about 2 weeks later, and he caught me again. He took my stripe. You walk around on the postman, you got these stripes on your shoulder. Come on. Everybody saw that. They knew you were a leader. You got these stripes on your shoulder. You got this big black patch, and you got stripes. Everybody saw it. They knew you were a squad leader. It made your chest rise, and you walked strong because everywhere you went, you got that on. You wanted to know. He came back again because I wanted to accommodate the men. He said, you've been insubordinate to me. I told you, take off the stripes now. And he gave those stripes to Chunk. He was a chump. He was made his mama get in that whole way. He was a chump. He was a real chump. So here I am in the squad now. I got to come out of the room. I got to come in. What else? Those drills cared for us. I know they were conditioned with that, but they had seen too many men die. Especially, they had seen too many men die. But friends died. That's why last time I went to see Zach came, the time before the last time, he wept and wept and wept. Because he was telling me how he saw it. Every friend he got, they would get killed. He said, there's something wrong with me. And that's why he has such he had shown a mental breakdown. And he was just weeping, sobbing. He said, "You're the only man." He could tell his son, he could tell his wife, but he told me. That's all right. Let us stand down.
Hallelujah.
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 Turn toward YHWH, and all things we do, Barak, are about for your greatness, your blessings. For this day, we will not take ourselves to be great, but it's by your kindness, your chesed,
Yes.
that we're here today, and that you have shown us compassion and kindness. We have all sinned against you egregiously. Forgive us all and heal us as a nation. Our friends, our enemies, we pray for them. Yeshua command us, whomever they are. We have no enemies, Yah, but whomever they are. Bless your nation, your people. Strengthen us all. Touch everyone, the daughters of Zion, the sons of YisraYah'ale, and we barak you for the great blessing of this day, for your truth that convinced me of my sins. We ask your riches to rest upon us all. In the mighty precious name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Ya Rabbi.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Bind us together in love. Bind us together in love. As our hearts join as one in unity, we ask that you bind us together, Yahweh, in love. Bind us together in love. Bind us together in love. As our hearts join as one in unity, we ask that you bind us together, Yahweh, in love. Bind us together, Yahweh. Bind us together, Yahweh. As our hearts join as one in unity, we ask that you bind us together, Yahweh, in love. Bind us together, Yahweh. Bind us together, Yahweh. As our hearts join as one in unity, we ask that you bind us together, Yahweh, in in love. Bind us together, Yahweh. Bind us together, Yahweh. As our hearts join as one in unity, we ask that you bind us together, Yahweh, in love. Bind us together, together. Bind us together.